Hey boys, welcome back to the next video in our Big Bash discussion analysis. It's going to be the Hobart Hurricanes. Also, I really like the Hurricanes. I like watching them play, mainly because I like watching Ben McDermott play. Just as an absolute beast, dude. But we'll go through their team. Honestly, like, just a quick little look. They look really good as well. It's going to be probably a trend of this series. I'm going to say most teams are going to go well, even though there's obviously going to be teams that have to not go well. But, I mean, that's why the Big Bash is such a good competition. I feel like there's no standouts. Like, any team can win on their day. But, you know, I digress. Let's look at the Hurricanes squad. So, Qais Ahmed from Afghanistan. A lot of Afghanistani internationals in the Big Bash, which is great to see. It's fantastic. You know, they got a lot of good young spinners, and you know, it's great to see them get the opportunity. George Bailey, who is, what's he coaching? He's going to be coaching the international T20 side, or he's like vice second coach, whatever it's called. I actually can't remember, but Bailey is going to be retiring fairly soon, you would assume. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's to do with the T20 stuff. I can't actually remember. I'm blanking. Scott Boland next up, a new recruit there. Jake Doran, Nathan Ellis, James Faulkner, Jared Freeman, Caleb Jewell, Ben McDermott, Riley Meredith, Simon Malenko, David Miller has gone to the Hurricanes, David Moody, Tom Rogers, Clive Rose, Darcy Short, Aaron Summers, and Matthew Wade. So, yeah, some good stuff there for sure. And well, quickly they got a little thing for Qais Ahmed. Actually, I do. Yeah, he played a few games at the end of last year for the Hurricanes. I remember the face, very very young leg spinner here, but he played in the Caribbean Premier League 2019. 3 matches, 7 wickets, best of 3 for 28, average 11, economy rate 6.9. So, you know, he's one of those, you know, I talked about it before with Liam O'Connor, Mitch Swepson. You know, they're the guys that give it flight, like to turn the ball. Qais Ahmed, he's more of Rashid Khan type of leggy. He fires it in. He's got a good slider. You know, he's more aiming for that front pad, the clean bowled, that sort of thing. Tougher to get away, and you know, very very handy. And his BBL record, pretty good as well. Pretty much the same as the Caribbean Premier League. He played 3 matches, picked up 7 wickets, average of 12.7, and an economy rate a little bit higher at 7.4. So, you know, I think honestly, he's probably in for a good season again. Only had 3 matches, but he looked pretty solid, and I think again, like, he would have played a lot more internationals since last year. Would have had more confidence. He's played more T20 leagues, so I think he's in for a pretty solid year. I actually forgot to, in the Heat one, I forgot to go through like the ins and outs, so we'll do that quickly now. So ins, we got Scott Boland from the Stars, David Miller from South Africa, and Nathan Ellis joins the main squad, the young quick from Tasmania. Outs, Johan Botha retires, so I mean that's a huge blow. Johan Botha was just all round very very good cricketer. You know, kept it tight with the ball, could come in and do a job with the bat when needed, and obviously a solid fielder. Tymal Mills, it's got here in brackets unsigned, which makes sense because Tymal Mills is useless. He's not good at all. So I think that's a good thing for the Hurricanes to not resign Tymal Mills. Tim Payne, and Lawrence Neil Smith. I don't know who that is. Yeah. Also, it doesn't say here, but no Jofra Archer. I actually don't know. Yeah, that's interesting. I actually don't know who if Archer is signed to another team or because he's now playing for I don't know. That's weird. Because it says here, David Miller replaces Joffa Archer as the international. So, yeah, that's... Yeah, I actually forgot about that. But looking at... I mean, honestly, again, like the Hurricanes are fairly similar to the Strikers in terms of the batting up the top of the order. Like, for the Hurricanes to do well, it does need to come from the top few guys. Obviously, Darcy Short, Matty Wade are very, very good. And, you know, Matty Wade is in career best form. Like, he's been hitting it better than he ever has previously. So, I mean, he's primed for a big year. Darcy Short hasn't had the best domestic season, I feel. Like, he hasn't been getting big runs, but he's definitely, I mean, T20, Big Bash, Darcy Short just seems to do well. And then you've got Ben McDermott and George Bailey sort of rounding out the best 4 batters in the team. So if a couple of those guys can fire, then I think they're in for a good year. But David Miller from South Africa, honestly, I haven't seen Miller play for years now, but the last I saw him, like, I wasn't like that impressed. But I honestly don't know. I don't know how he's been going in previous T20s. As a replacement for Jofra Archer, obviously Archer would be a better international player if they had the choice. So they do lose a bit there. And I think, honestly, I said at the start, I think the Hurricanes will do pretty well. But I think it probably is the one team the first team on the list here that I think could struggle this year. I'm just not really seeing the real depth. They've got some good bowlers though. Like, I mean, Riley Meredith, very quick, pretty similar to, Billy Stanlake. I think Stanlake's got a little bit more control than Meredith, but fairly similar type bowlers. Meredith, I think, can have a pretty good year. Simon Malenko is a solid all-rounder. He's got some good hitting ability. Can bowl a few decent overs, but he's got the potential to get smacked around a bit with his type of bowling. James Faulkner, in previous years you would think Faulkner is a great player to have, but I mean Faulkner just hasn't. I really don't know what happened to Faulkner, but a couple of years ago he just lost all sort of confidence, I guess. Like, his bowling, it's not like he's been playing badly, but his batting ability, I think, has gone downhill badly. Really struggles to get away now. Like, he sort of gets bogged down a fair bit and just can't really be the finisher like he used to be. His bowling, I think, is stayed. Honestly, I think his bowling has stayed pretty similar, but his biggest sort of attribute was his all-round ability. Like, he come out and smack the ball, and he just read the game very well, but his batting ability has just declined pretty rapidly. So Faulkner, I mean, he still does provide some good left-hand bowling options, either early on, a little bit of swing, or he can come on late, a lot of slow balls, a few Yorkers. So he's still a good bowler. Scotty Boland, the new recruit. Boland is, I think he's an okay acquisition, but not one of the better bowlers in T20 cricket. Again, he's a very sort of hit the deck type bowler. Doesn't really get much swing. And I mean, even a player that does get swing, I mean, it's the Big Bash. Like, it swings for maybe 2 overs, and then that's literally all the swing it's going to get anyway. So it doesn't really matter. But Boland is a guy that he's okay. He's okay. I think he's a decent signing. And then, the rest of their bowlers, like Clive Rose is okay. He can bowl his 4 overs pretty quickly, pretty economically. Not going to really get bags of wickets, although it can happen because guys that just dart him in there can do it occasionally. And then, Tom Rogers is probably going to be in the team potentially. He's okay. He can bowl pretty quick, but a little bit loose. So I think honestly, I think the Hurricanes are going to be in a little bit of strife. I think they definitely got some hitting ability with McDermott, Wade, Darcy Short, obviously George Bailey, and even Simon Malenko provide a lot of hitting. But other than that, I mean, if David Miller fires, they could be pretty good. Caleb Jewell actually, he's played a couple of Big Bash matches and he really hasn't looked very good, but he is a very talented young batsman from Tasmania, and you know, this could be his year to shine. But the problem with Jewell is that he probably needs to open or bat 3, but the other batters they've got, like, they pretty much have to open with Short, obviously, and then Matty Wade is obviously opening as well. Although again, I'm not too sure of like the availability of the international players. We're just talking like they're going to play for the majority, even though they're not. But you know, so it's got to be Wade and Short, and then I guess you'd probably put Caleb Jewell number 3. But the problem is Jewell, in the past in Big Bash, he's come in and he hasn't really been able to like get on top as a number 3 batter. You want your number 3 to really come out and, you know, be able to read the game, whether or not it's doing a bit and he can dig around a bit, or if he just needs to come out and counter attack or just continue the attack from the openers. So, you know, they could lose a bit there, and then I would say it's probably going to be McDermott number 4, and then Bailey 5, which is a pretty strong top order. But yeah, I honestly think the Hurricanes could struggle this year. The other reason for it is that I think Darcy Short, I think he's just bound to have a bad season, right? Like I think the way he bats, like, it is all just timing and eye, which, you know, not much can go wrong unless you just get a couple of good balls and you just nick off or get cleaned up. But he can't keep being like the top run scorer. Like, I feel like he's bound to have a year where he just sort of, things just don't get timed. They're just not going right for him. And I think this could be a year where Darcy Short has a bit of a rough Big Bash and the Hurricanes struggle. So that's my opinions on the Hurricanes. I think their team is okay, but it's definitely not one of the standouts in my opinion. But yeah, we'll see. Like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments section, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next ones.